So last episode we talked about how to use the airbrush, and also we talked about how to put the paint into the airbrush, thinning your paint, mixing your paints, aiming for your consistency, and now we will tackle how to clean your airbrush. Okay, so let's start. And we have a couple of things for you to prepare before we continue. Now here, as you can see, there's still a paint inside of this container. We're gonna remove this one. So first things first, you need a jar, and also basic things, of course, you need this few things that you need to prepare, and it's a basic one. First things first, it's a water there, so we're gonna flush out all the water, I mean the paint, sorry, inside of the container. Now next one, this one is it's a lacquer thinner. This is a very useful in terms of cleaning, especially inside of the airbrush. And also here we get some, I bought this one in Daiso. It's a cleaner also. It has a small brushes at the tip, also at the side. Okay, here, so check, there is a small brush. It will pass through to the nozzle, so it's a very useful one. And also with this metal polish, we're gonna polish also the airbrush. So let's start. After that process, it's time to disassemble your airbrush, and always start at the back part, followed by with the nozzle and the needle. Also use this mini wrench for this tip of the airbrush. This needle here, this is very delicate, so be careful guys, not to bend or to drop, especially if this one is exposed, so be careful, be careful. So now it's time for a general cleaning. Let's get cotton buds here, dunk it into the lacquer thinner, and start cleaning inside of the container. Now, as you can see here, it's very clean. That's the magic of the lacquer thinner. So process number 2, it's here. We're gonna start cleaning also the nozzle, which where we remove the needle. So dunk into the lacquer thinner, and if you notice that there's a blue paint still there, now if you clean this one, make sure that the airbrush is pointing towards to your cloth like this, what I am doing right now, so that if the excess paint will drop down, it will gonna go directly to the nozzle. It doesn't go backwards, because the back part of the airbrush is very difficult to clean. Alright, done so far. So moving now to the nozzle crown and nozzle. So this one will, if you notice that this one, sometimes I remove this one, it's because the paint will stuck there, and sometimes the performance of the airbrush will compromise. So basically I will remove this one and I'll just gonna install this one for mixing the paints, but in general of my work I always remove this one. This tiny brush here is very essential of my cleaning process of all my airbrushes. As you can see here, it passes through the nozzle. It even on this needle, how very important tool for cleaning. So there you can clean, there twisting it, and it will remove all the paint that's stuck into that particular needle. Alright, so now it's needle time. So we're gonna clean the needle. We're gonna dump a small amount of lacquer into the cloth and scrape all the paints that stuck into this needle. Now guys, make sure also that you don't bend your needle, okay? So be gentle. And right here I'm going to polish my needle because it's very important. But of course I'm going to polish also my container so that the total look of my airbrush will be very awesome and very shiny, especially the needle. Now we are going to put an all-purpose oil all the moving mechanisms of your airbrush, especially here on the trigger. We're gonna drop a small amount there. Okay, so installing the trigger, so make sure that it goes straight to that particular hole and try to test it by pushing it down and up. So putting an oil into the moving parts done, so let's remove now the metal polish and let's see the result if the airbrush is going to have a shiny look. So if you notice that the dirt, it's removed there from the needle and also from the container. So if you imagine, if you don't maintain your airbrush and if you keep using it, it will gonna compromise the performance, guys. So it's very important, the maintenance. So here, removing the excess metal polish inside, dunk it with cotton buds. Make sure that everything is removed. Now from here, let's assemble the airbrush once again. Start from the needle. There, my hands, it still has an oil. That's okay. Here from the nozzle, the needle, and gently push with one finger and make sure that your needle doesn't stuck into the middle. Alright, and if you check here, this needle here and this object here, when you pull the trigger, it moves all together, which means the airbrush is well undone. So that's it, guys. Please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe and also the notification bell as well so that you won't miss a thing. Now, if you want to add something, please leave a comment below and a special shout out also to these groups, and I hope to see you soon on my next video. So from here, until then, bye for now. Peace out.